Students, the next topic we'll see the coastal saline soils. The problem of the coastal salinity will encompass as coastal saline soils which are situated in humid and semi-humid areas, coastal saline soils of the arid areas, and coastal acid saline soils. Whatever the problem of the coastal salinity, it may occur in the soils which are situated in the humid and subhumid areas, in the arid areas, as well as in the saline soils. These soils occurs along 6,100 kilometer long the coastline of our country. As we know, our country has the long coastal line, and along this 6,100 kilometer long area, these coastal saline soils will occur. According to the present estimates, the coastal saline soils are spread in an area of about 3.1 million hectares in India. While in Maharashtra, it is about 86,000 hectares, which occurs in the Ratnagiri, Sindhudurg, and southern part of the Raigad district, which are situated in the coastal line of the Maharashtra. Thus, if we see the coastal saline soils, these coastal saline soils mostly occurs along the coastal line of our country or of our state. 3.1 million hectare area occurs as a coastal saline soils in India, while 86,000 hectares area occurs in the Maharashtra, particularly in the Ratnagiri, Sindhudurg, and southern part of the Raigad district. You might have been observed such a type of the coastal saline soils. Formation of the coastal saline soils. The entire area is almost monocrop with rice being only the crop grown during the monsoon period. In this coastal soils, in this entire area, the most monocrop is the rice, and which is particularly cultivated in the monsoon season. The land remains fallow during the rest of the year due to lack of the good quality irrigation water as well as high soil salinity. Only in monsoon season, the rice is cultivated in the soils, and for rest of the period of the year, the soils remains fallow due to availability of the good quality of the irrigation water as well as high soil salinity. High rainfall and impeded drainage contribute to the serious problem of the deep water submergence as well as water stagnation in the monsoon season. Particularly in the monsoon season, high rainfall as well as impeded drainage will contribute to the serious problem of the deep water submergence and water stagnation in the monsoon season. With this prevailing condition, the productivity of the area has remained very low. Salinity problem in coastal soils is caused during the process of their formation itself due to the marine influence and subsequently periodical inundation with the tidal water is known as the coastal saline soil. If we see the formation of the coastal saline soils, in the definition, it is given that whatever the coastal saline soils consist of the salinity, and it is caused during the process of their formation itself due to the marine influence, because this coastal saline soils occurs in the coastal area, and due to the marine influence as well as subsequently periodical inundation with the tidal water of the sea, these coastal saline soils are get developed. The processes which are responsible for the development of the salinity of the soil in coastal area, the first is the seawater inundation, which is one of the important process by which soil salinity develops in the coastal region. use of the saline groundwater of the crop production, also calls the soil salinization in many areas. Whenever groundwater is saline, high water table during the post-monsoon season brings up the dissolved salts in the root zone through the capillary rise. Salinization process is most active during the summer season and deposition of the wind blow salts. If we see the processes which are responsible for the formation of these coastal saline soils, the first important is the inundation of the seawater, which will give the addition of the dissolved salts from the water to the soil, which will get development of the soil salinity in the coastal region. Secondly, use of the saline groundwater for the crop production. If this saline water is used for the cultivation of the crop production, it will causes the soil salinization. Whenever groundwater is saline, sometimes high water table during the post-monsoon season brings up the dissolved salts in the root zone, and as increasing the temperature due to evaporation by the capillary rise, it will give the deposition of the soluble salts in the root zone, or it may be bring to the surface of the soil. Particularly in the summer season, this salinization process is most active, as in the summer season there are the high temperatures, and with the evaporation of the water, the salts are removed from the deeper layers of the soil or the root zone, and it will be deposited at the surface of the soil. As well as this deposition of wind blown salt is responsible for the formation of the coastal saline soils. If we see the problems existing in the coastal saline soils, the lands are subjected to the influence of the tidal waves and periodical inundation by the tidal water. Whatever the lands, these are subjected to the influence of the tidal waves from the seawater, as well as it will give the periodical inundation by the tidal water. Shallow water table enriched with the salts contribute to increasing the soil salinity during winter as well as during the summer season. Heavy rainfall, except in some part of the Gujarat, poor surface and subsurface drainage conditions are there. Lack of good quality irrigation water during the dry period in certain areas. As we know, the rainwater is the most useful, good quality water for the irrigation purpose. But after monsoon season, in the winter and in summer season, there is a lack of good quality irrigation water during the dry period. Under submerged condition, mineralization of the nitrogen is limited to the ammonification stage due to depletion of the oxygen. As we know, as and when there will be the submerged condition, this will cause the mineralization of the nitrogen, and this mineralization of the nitrogen is limited to the ammonification stage due to lack of the oxygen due to the depletion of the oxygen. Thus, if we see the problems which occurs in the coastal saline soils, these saline soils are subjected to the influence of the tidal waves as well as periodical inundation by the tidal water. Shallow water table enriched with the salt contribute to increase the soil salinity, particularly in the winter and summer season. Heavy rainfall, except in some part of the Gujarat, poor surface and subsurface condition, lack of good quality irrigation water during the dry period, as well as mineralization of nitrogen is limited to the ammonification due to depletion of the oxygen. If we see the causes or reasons for the formation of the coastal saline soils, low-lying area at the end of the slope is the most important cause for the formation of the coastal saline soil. Submergence of the land with seawater under the impact of marine cycles is another cause or the reason. The water table rises close to the surface during the July-August and recedes to about 2 meter depth during the April and May month. Thus, rise in water table takes place in the monsoon season due to heavy rains, and as and when rainwater, as and when this rainfall stops during the winter and summer season, this water table goes down within the soil up to 2 meter depth, particularly in the month of April and May. Direct ingress brought about by the high tides and salt rises through the capillary results in the excessive salinization of the soil profile. Not only the root zone of the soil, but whole the soil profile becomes saline soil. If we see the characteristics of the coastal saline soils, the pH of the extract is less than 8.5, electrical conductivity is greater than 4 decisimon per meter, exchangeable sodium percentage is less than 15, sodium absorption ratio is also less than 15. Alluvium of the soils is derived from the laterites, and these are fine textured with relatively high organic matter content soils. Being derived from excessively leached soils, these are mainly acidic in the reaction. These are low in their nutrient reserves. Impeded drainage, high salinity, shallow saline water table, low nutrient reserves, and very low infiltration and percolation rates are some of the serious limitations of these coastal saline soils. If we see the characteristics of the saline soils, we'll find that as these are the saline soils, these consist of the higher concentration of the soluble salts. The electrical conductivity of the extract is greater than 4 decisimon per meter, while pH, ESP, and SCR is less than the critical limits, as well as these soils are derived from the laterites, which are fine textured with relatively higher organic matter content. As these are derived from the excessively leached soils, laterites, these are mainly acidic in their reaction, low in their nutrient content. It has the impeded drainage, high salinity, shallow saline water table, low nutrient reserves, very low infiltration and percolation. These are the limitations of these coastal saline soils. If we see the coastal effect of this coastal saline soil on the plant growth, the higher salt concentration enhances the osmotic pressure, causes the problem, particularly in the nutrient absorption. Wilting coefficient is high and amount of water available is less in these soils. Germination is affected. The main electrolytes present in these soils are chlorides of the sodium, magnesium, and calcium, followed by the sulfates. The problem is only that of the salinity. It is, however, coupled at some places with the excessive acidity. These coastal saline soils have the higher salt concentration, which increases the osmotic pressure and causes the problem in the absorption of the nutrients. Wilting coefficient is high and amount of the available water is less. Germination is affected. The main electrolytes which are present in the soils are the chlorides of sodium, magnesium, calcium, followed by the sulfates of the sodium, magnesium, and calcium. The problem is only that of the salinity. However, if it is coupled at some places with the excessive acidity. Reclamation and management of the coastal saline soils. As a first step for the reclamation of the coastal saline soils, the land must be protected from the inundation of the seawater by constructing the embankment. Whatever the seawater which enters in these coastal line areas, for preventing the inundation of the seawater in this land, construction of the embankment along the coastal line should be carried out. Secondly, storage and recycling of rainwater for cultivation of the summer cultivation of the crops or winter cultivation of the crops should be done. Other similar practices are followed as like the reclamation of the saline soils, which we have already seen. This is all about regarding this topic. You may be asked, what is coastal saline soils? Describe in detail the formation of the coastal saline soils. What are the characteristics of the coastal saline soils and give the effect of the coastal saline soil on the plant growth? Define coastal saline soils and give the reclamation and management practices for the coastal saline soils. You have to prepare for these questions. This is all about regarding this topic. We stop here.